Hi, welcome to your final destination. This is a 4-player race game to outlive your opponents. In this game, you want to avoid death at all costs. In order to win, you must be the last one standing and not make it to the end of the board. Final destination. I'm going to show you the rules and how to set up the game. First part is you put all the fate cards on their respective places. Good fate go right here, labeled GF, and BF, bad fate, go in the corner. Next up, you're going to put sickness cards, general cards, and ethical dilemma cards at the top of the board. It doesn't matter which way they go as long as they're at the top of the board. Next up, your graveyard is going to go right here on the left side, and on the right side, your plasma bank and black market are going to go right here. Next up, make sure you distribute the upper class, middle, lower class, and lower class out. You do this randomly. It doesn't matter which one you get. It's just you do it randomly. You're going to start where it goes. So upper class will start right here, middle class starts right here, lower middles will start right here, and lower class will start right here. Next up, make sure you distribute the insurance. Once again, this is random. With this, if you have a sickness card, it will deduct the amount of money you owe for a sickness card. Make sure everyone gets 3 plasmas. And then for the organs, make sure the color matches up with your character token. Next up, we're going to talk about plasma. Everyone gets 3 plasmas for themselves, and then you put 4 plasmas in the plasma bank. So for plasma, you can sell it for $400 every 8 turns. Once you sell it, you put it in the plasma bank. If you get a sickness card and need plasma, but do not have one, you can retrieve it from the bank. If you get a sickness card and you have to get rid of the plasma, put the plasma in the graveyard. If the bank is empty and you need plasma, a player may donate it if they feel like it. A player can also charge you up to $500 of plasma. Next up, let's talk about organs. Everyone gets 1 set of lungs and 1 set of kidneys. If you have to get rid of an organ due to a sickness or bad fate card, you put it in the graveyard. If you need an organ, you can buy one from the black market. For buying from the black market, you can buy lungs and kidneys there. Kidneys are priced at $2,000 and lungs are priced at $1,500 per one. Also, players can sell you lungs or kidneys from $100 to $2,000, and they may also donate. If you are broke on welfare, you can sell any of your organs, only one, for $500 and you put it in the black market. You may only do this once a game. Next up, we're going to talk about board spaces. The first space is general. This means you pick up a general card. This means you can either earn money or give money or do a certain action. For example, this one says steal $200 from any player. I would choose a player and simply steal $200 for them. Next up, we're going to learn about sickness spaces labeled S. A sickness space gives you a sickness. Example, everyone has picked up strep throat. Pay $100 for antibiotics and go forward 2 spaces. You have to pay and you have to go forward 2 spaces. Sickness cards can vary from time to time. Sometimes you don't pay that much. Other times you have to pay a hefty price. Don't forget about your insurance card. So this one means I don't have to pay $100, but I still have to go forward 2 spaces. Next up is ethical dilemma. As you notice on the board, there is no space for ethical dilemma. Picking up an ethical dilemma card can happen 1 or 2 ways. The first way is if you roll a 1 or a 0. The second way of picking up an ethical dilemma card is if I land on the same space as another character token. So an ethical dilemma can put you into tricky situations. Here's an example. You can hire a hitman for $1,000 and pick a player to move forward 1 to 9 spaces. You may hold on to this card as long as you would like. Well, if I were to simply just roll a 0 or a 1, I could choose any player. But if I land on the same space as another player, I have to perform the action on that player. The next space, labeled P, means payday space. So to know how much you get paid, you look at your class card. My pay is $500. If I land on the space, I will get paid $1,000. You just double that. But if I go past the space, I then just get paid $500. But let's say a card sends me back. I still don't get paid. You only get paid once you go past the space. What if I cannot pay or I owe other people money? Well, first off, let's talk about welfare. Welfare means you get up to $500. You get paid $50 each turn. So you can only get welfare if you are completely broke and have no money. So you simply just move the tracker up each turn to keep track of how much money you're earning. Also, if you land on a general space and earn money, you still have welfare. And if you sell a kidney, lung, or plasma, you still apply for welfare until you get to 500. Next up is IOUs. Let's say I owe a card and or a player $2,000. Well, let's just say I only have $1,000. I pay the person or the card $1,000, and I still keep track of how much I owe them. So if I get paid, let's just say $200, I will give them the $200 and then move the tracker down to 800. And each time you get money, you give the player or the bank the money, and you keep moving it down until you don't owe them anything anymore. The order in which you play is it goes oldest member goes first, and then you just go clockwise. So this is pretty much how you play. You roll the die. I got an even number, 6. So if you get an even number, you pick up a good fate card. My good fate card says, today is just a good day. Roll the die and go back that many spaces. So I roll the die, I then go back that many spaces. So I have landed on a sickness space, so now I pick up a sickness card. You caught the cooties, go forward 3 spaces. So then I go forward 3 spaces, and that is the end of my turn, and it is the next player's turn to go. So my turn is now again, I roll the die. I got an odd number, so that means I pick up a bad fate card. Bad fate cards always make you go forward, but they do have certain actions within them. You had an allergic reaction to an essential oil, go forward 1 space. I simply go forward 1 space, and it is now another player's turn. Okay, next up we're going to talk about dying. So let's just say you can't get your bills paid for, or a sickness just overtakes you. You die. So let's just say my red character right here could not get his bills paid for, so he dies. What I'm going to do is I'm going to replace his character token on the board and put down his tombstone or the red chip, and I'm going to put him in the graveyard. Now another way you can die is if, let's just say, he didn't get taken by sickness. He unfortunately just got a bad fate card that moved him up to the skull. If you land on the skull, you die. Now let's just say you're the first person to die in the game. Now we're going to talk about the Grim Reaper feature. So if you're the first person to die in the game, you become the Grim Reaper. So you can only have 1 Grim Reaper per game. So if my green character dies, well, he's no longer going to be in the game at all because the red character is now the Grim Reaper. So to play the Grim Reaper, it's fairly simple. You roll the die and you go back that many spaces. So let's just say my character lands on a 6 space. Well, since I'm the Grim Reaper, I can get a sickness card and put it on any character I want. Now let's just say the Grim Reaper lands on the same space as another character. Well, the character now has to move forward 6 spaces because they've had a brush with death. Also, the Grim Reaper gets to roll the die. If the die lands on a 6, the character is automatically killed from the game. And that's how you play your Final Destination. Thank you so much for playing my game.